Welcome to the High Efficiency Practice, a podcast focused on how leaders build smarter, more efficient healthcare and wellness businesses. Hosted by Brenda Mana, the show explores what actually works across operations, growth, and performance. Today's guest is Simas Didžbalis, founder of Nutrioz, where he has spent over a decade building and advancing new approaches to how people consume supplements. Known for challenging traditional vitamin delivery, he focuses on innovative solutions that improve absorption and effectiveness. In this conversation, listeners get a closer look at his perspective on the future of nutrition and what it takes to rethink an entire industry from the ground up.
Welcome, Simas. It's a pleasure to have you today. We're going to be diving into the next chapter in medical practice. Interested in knowing the breakthroughs that you're doing with Nutrioz and what's your background, also trends that you're seeing in your market, what challenges you're facing, and how do you see Nutrioz moving forward with their objectives in the 6 to 12 months timeline. The first question is about your background. Who are you? Where are you coming from? Why are you doing what you're doing?
I was living happily in the small countryside village in Lithuania. My brother, he was practicing opera singing in Dublin. His voice went down because he got acids in his gut. We couldn't find what was the cause, and it took around 1.5 years. So we changed his diet, his water, even his living place. We figure out that the element which caused the acids in his gut was in his vitamin D3 he was using. But on the label, it was not stated that element is in the product. So we felt very insecure. We decided to create our own vitamin D3 because myself, I am from process management. I'm the guy who thinks how to make things better. My brother, he is opera singing. We managed to find the scientists who agreed on our terms to make the best science possible vitamin D3, just from curiosity. And of course, for solving our own problem. I live in Lithuania. My brother lives in Dublin in Ireland. So half a year, we need to use food supplements to get vitamin D3 like in normal levels. The scientists agreed on our terms. He was very happy because we paid for his scientific ego to make the best, not to make the best for sales, but best in terms of science. After almost 2 years, we created this little fellow here. It's quite small. We just shake it. It's done. I got my daily dose of vitamin D3 just like that. It goes through the capillary system straight into my. It's nothing to swallow. It's very important part. How Nutrioz is totally different. It wasn't meant to be the best product for the market. It was meant to be the best science possible. And this is how the science works. Vitamin D3 daily dose of 1,000 international units is 0.25 of a gram. It's 10,000 particles of a gram. When you consume food supplement which claims it is vitamin D3 and it looks like 2-3 grams of pills, capsules, liquids, it contains inside something you consume, probably contains vitamin D3. With our technology, what we figure out, it's so tiny molecular, why we need to digest? I need it in my blood. We found the way. We did it with the rest of the products we could because not elements are good enough, are available to put in this technology of molecular spray. When we spray so tiny dusts, if I will spray in front of camera, you won't see it. It's so small. When it goes through the capillary system, it's nothing to digest. It's nothing to swallow. Imagine all of those people who cannot swallow because of movement disabilities. For them, it's a unique way to get it. For us, it was discovery that we never thought that micrograms, milligrams are tiny particles. Basically, industry is built so they are selling huge things which contains those particles, but not the particles itself.
Let's say that it does include the 10 particles that you want in that pill. If you get 30% of that, you're not even getting your dose. You need 3 times that to be in the ballpark of what you need daily, right?
One of theories are that we see the thing we are going to eat, our first gut in our mouth prepares the leaves for the digestion because our brains already recognizes the element. For example, if we see carrot in front of us, our brains understands what elements it contains. It prepares how it must to be absorbed here in the mouth. Second, we prepare our gut digestion system to absorb elements which are found in carrot. So imagine when you give yourself a pill, how our body can recognize that this particular pill or capsule or tablet contains vitamin D3. When you put into your mouth, you probably will feel flour of corn or soya bean corns, some sweetness. Our gut will prepare the digestion for those elements, but not for vitamin D3, because our body cannot recognize it. And if vitamin D3 is soluble in oils, it needs to be the oils. With our technology, if you need vitamin D3, you don't need it in your mouth, you need it in your blood. So we have technology to deliver this element straight to your blood. Simple as that.
As we were preparing for this session, you were telling me that it's been over 8 years that 11 years that you've been working on this. It was not until October 2022 that you launched Nutrioz. Am I pronouncing it correctly?
Yeah, it is rebranded. Back in 2015, we already were selling those products on Amazon. We were piloting because I'm from different business. It's okay, let's try. It is Amazon, let's put online. Maybe it run with some sales. Because the thing is, when you are creating the product for yourself, you are not making one product. You are ordering that product, some laboratory does for you, and for laboratory, we are making that in bulk. So we got 1,000 units of such tubes. One tube for one person is 1 year if you use it daily. We have 1,000 units, 1,000 years for our family. Our family is members of 20, but still 1,000 years, we need to sell it. So we try to make sales. I took this product for a test on myself. Every year, some week or two, I have flu, I have temperature. And when I started to use vitamin D3, I didn't got one. I said, okay, it's crazy. I changed only that. I started to use vitamin D3. I just said, okay, what I have changed? I have changed this new thing in my life. Then I remember I just pray once and I didn't got sick. I said, okay, it means it works.
Your case study.
Yeah. I went to Prime Minister of Health in Lithuania. I'm a simple guy. I just said, okay, I need to meet someone who probably knows the thing. So he has to organize the meeting with the public. And because I did it officially, he must welcome me and all his cabinet crew is meeting me. And he says, look, I want to have vitamin D3, vitamin B12 registered in Lithuania as a drugs. I said, why? He says, it is the perfect solution for us in the hospital. We don't need to inject anymore. In fact, vitamin D3 injections are super rare and expensive. Vitamin B12, in our case, it's 17 times cheaper. And it's sterile because you don't touch. They can spray multiple patients. Doses are exact. Each spray is totally exact. It's easy for them to run, no wastes, no risks of injection. Perfect solution for them. But for me to run drug company, it was, I was one man, not orchestra. I am from totally different field. I said, no, let's keep it as a food supplements because food supplements you can sell as candies everywhere. So I was the guy who was everywhere, which is related with health in Lithuania, all events, radio, television, series of Christmas sales, etc. I was on the news, newspapers, everywhere. And in 2 years, on 220, we got 20% of local market for vitamin D3.
Wow, impressive.
I saw that people, in fact, love the product. So then we started those sales here in Lithuania. Even the product lasts for 1 or 2 years because nobody is using daily. You just simply forget. You don't need to use daily. You spray when you need it. You feel that you have a deficiency, you lack of good mood. Basically, it's the main thing how you can measure your vitamin D3 level. for people to understand, just take a regular logic. Why you pay for the things you don't need if you can get things you need?
What's a day in your life like? Now you've rebranded. You have Amazon. I can look for Amazon and find Nutrioz. What's a day in your life today? Who am I speaking to right now?
We're running some trials in India with hospital networks with Nutrioz products to prove that things are totally logic. This approval is needed more for governments, hospitals. They need to see the data and papers. So we are doing those homeworks in India, where we have 1 billion people with deficiencies of vitamin D3 and B12, because our B12, 8 sprays equals the injection you get of IV of vitamin B12 group. It's not cyanocobalamin, it's methylcobalamin, which is much better for you. This little tube contains 30 injections for $45.
Do you need that?
8 sprays.
I mean, how much B12 do you need a day?
1 spray. Each tube contains 240.
Once contain a year, how do you know it's empty?
You feel I'm not spraying anymore. Yes, the taste. I was 2 weeks ago in US, 2 days in New York to pick up my certificates. I have those here from being a part of NASA. And this year we are going to do much more with NASA. After 2 days in New York, 2 days in LA in fitness event where a lot of famous bodybuilders, all those famous muscle men and women were gathering, and I showed them and were like, what's happening? Those people, because we are machines of eating those supplements and we are killing main organs to digest all those elements they don't need. So when we saw my product, we were super happy and we are looking forward to get hands on it. Because when you eat this pill or capsule, the main problem of it is that you eat preservatives. Those preservatives naturally are meant to stop living being. When you consume even small amounts, it kills something inside you, and it's not good. If you're using daily as they do, because they want to build more muscles, they need to boost more, they're actually killing themselves, and most of them has a huge problem in the end. Like in few years eating those pills, they're actually killing themselves.
So you were talking about a day in your life.
All around the places, meeting the people. Recently with Teresa Biber, she's professor of healing the dysphagia, the people who cannot swallow. We had interview with her. She's looking forward to talking with laboratories and getting hands on new innovations and trying to understand how to explain for masses those things I get, and talking with scientists, programming all the artificial intelligence tools to help me to make this information much faster available for the public eyes, for internet, to teach everybody, because we are handling like, I don't know, more than 10 different channels of social media in different names, just to spray the word around. So it grabs much faster to run all those TikToks, all teams, to explain them what we are talking here about, how we need to approach people, and everything sometimes are disrupted by some crazy thing happening in laboratory, and the laboratory calls and says, look, we have figured out that baby food contains cancerogen. How baby food contains, like all baby food now manufactured globally contains cancerogen. I said, okay, explain. We have to make food safe, so we have to overheat it 200 degrees Celsius, mainly are using the technology of baby food manufacturing. And this 200 Celsius of degrees makes gluten products as acrylamide. Acrylamide is cancerogen. And FDA and all organizations were forced to allow this element in baby food because otherwise they couldn't make it clean. And my laboratory figured out how to make it. Now we have the acrylamide-free baby food, which technology can be implemented in any manufacturing facility, and all global baby food can be acrylamide-free.
What is the problem now? What is not working? Exactly.
Probably, Brenda, you can do my job here because you're in Washington, D.C. I need you to go to White House.
I'm not sure I want to.
Tell him we can make American baby food great again.
Very good. And what's the problem then? Besides geopolitical aspects of it.
Yeah, to reach out those decision makers, it's a huge problem. I have a solution, global solutions here, but to take them to the masses, to the chains existing, to the distributors, to everywhere, I need the decision makers. Production is done. We are manufacturing it already, and we can scale it to everyone to fulfill the demand needed. But the problem is to find the right people on board.
As in to get there, you mean more hands and basically talk to decision makers.
Yes.
Are you targeting any geography specifically?
No.
Whoever wants to open the door, you're
Yeah.
interested. Okay. I hear you.
I'm not a god to decide that one language or another language shouldn't get the good thing for a human body.
In reality, the point of the question was more on thinking globally is a great thing. Having this study in India might be a great platform for you to jump from into a land and expand approach. That's what I was thinking about. What's not working is basically talking to the right people. And where do you want to be in 12 months, 6 months? Let's say you figure that out.
I'm doing my homework. I'm trying to connect those people through various channels and ways. In 12 months, I'm going to be somewhere in Washington, D.C., and telling everybody through the news that we have another solution which will save billions of lives in our planet. The product is already rolling up. We are launching on the system. Systems is going to explain because the product is actually working. The product I was telling you about, Nutrioz sleep product, when you inject the sleep aid, it works. And most of people has trouble with sleeping, especially having the deep phase of sleeps.
What do you mean by sleeping aid?
It's from a hormonic standpoint because people do not sleep mostly because they have disrupted melatonin producing in their brains system, which is not working properly. When you have melatonin to reach your pineal gland in your brains, it helps your body to recover. Deep phase is the main thing of melatonin. And the people, when they get even half an hour of deep sleep, it's much better than laying in a bed and rolling from corner to corner than hours. So quality of sleep depends from how your brain's actually producing melatonin, how it manages to recover. Because during deep sleep, we don't age.
I might need a whole shipment of melatonin now that you're saying it.
We were thinking not how to make more money. We were thinking how to make the things better. Our brains are super complicated. They are protecting themselves from all intruders in chemical, biochemical ways too. People who experiences fuzziness in the morning, we said, oh, I'm going to get used to the sleep aid. I don't like the outcomes in the morning from those aids. I don't feel good. My mood is jumping. It's because probably your brain doesn't like what you do for them. And it shows up with feelings. Please do not use those pills or tablets anymore. We figure out how to make our brains happy.
You are in the same ecosystem as massive global players. What trends are you seeing? Are they aware that this natural type products are coming? What's your take on that?
I was the guy who was working for the manufacturing facilities. I understand how complicated it is to change all the chain which delivers you the final product. It's getting faster in the way AI is helping to improve the product, but it's complicated to get the raw materials, to test them, to find the good employees. So I understand those long chains needed to make the change in the final product. I'm bringing the solution to all of us because internet helps find products globally. We can order from China, from India, UK, US. It's possible if it's available online. And if they think my product bring the best science-made products to the people If we want, we are here, we are available. You can buy it, you can test it, and you will be surprised how good we are.
Have you thought of partnering with any of these companies? Is this something that would be interesting?
I'm open to meaningful cooperations, of course. If we can make together something even better, let's do it. I want to make it available to everybody. And if somebody has already the chains and reaching the people who are interested into being healthy and living longer, of course, let's do it.
One last question before we wrap, because we are almost at the top of the hour. How big is your team? You're running studies in India, you're selling through Amazon, you have 20% of your local market in Lithuania. How many of you are there?
One-man orchestra is me, marketing, decision making, all those video stuff, and even more. Manufacturing facilities is they're doing their stuff. It's one team in manufacturing, another team in science. Totally, we are, I would say, 60 people.
Look how far from processes and operations you've become since your brother lost his voice 20 years ago, pretty much, or 15 years ago.
I will tell you that we have the future nutrition solution in our hands right now. It will be available from 2026. We will show off to the globe that we don't need to use any chemic anymore. We have a pure bioavailable elements already. It's available and it's reality. We have been tested. And in terms of the new products, one is going to become very fast. True that not only spray in your mouth, but spray on your skin too.
That is a revolution. So I hope I'm not publishing this episode before you do that. We keep it to ourselves. The news.
The last one. Let's keep the last one for ourselves.
Do you have any last comments before we wrap? This has been amazing getting to know a little bit of what you're doing, your background, where you're going. I think is super impressive. You're literally starting a revolution.
Now it's time to make changes to the better. And Nutrioz is the future, which you can experience right now.
Thank you. That's a perfect closing for this